carves its own niche and it carves a space out for itself. So today I'd like to talk about Cyber Shadow. Now, I found this game totally by accident on the eShop. I think it was on sale. I think I got it for like maybe a couple dollars or something. Well, like $8 or $9. Actually, I can't remember. I think I bought it with the eShop credit, the gold points. Yeah. Anyways, I played this game and I totally fell in love with this game. This game is absolutely amazing. Like the pixel art style, the music, the difficulty, the platforming, everything is just completely and utterly amazing. Now, I say that a lot, but I actually really enjoyed this. It has a very campy 1980s cyber futuristic aesthetic and storyline. Very Terminator, very RoboCop, all of those things put together. And yet somehow it manages to feel entirely original, which is a pretty big demand, especially given the glut of recent, nostalgic based media. But I think that this is one of those nostalgia based media that, kind of I ends up, how should I put it? It carves its own niche and it carves a space out for itself with very little issues. Now, this game draws heavily from games like, the Ninja Gaiden, the platformers of the Nintendo era, not the Super Nintendo era, the Nintendo era. And I just want to talk about how well the pixel art is handled in this game. A lot of the games that use this retro-inspired look, they tend to lean either too heavily into the NES or the Super Nintendo or the Genesis look. And as a result, they don't really craft identity for themselves. And then there are those that goes so far off the rails, you kind of question, where is the influence coming from? Like, is this supposed to be a retro-inspired game? Is it supposed to be a completely wholly original thing? Now, Cyber Shadow kind of straddles both, and it does it in a really great way in that, some of the enemies, some of the placements of the background, some of the bosses, the way they're designed, they all look like they come straight out of a more optimized Nintendo cartridge, like genuinely, it looks like that. And then there are some places where the backgrounds are so gorgeously detailed and illustrated, it makes me completely wonder, like, whoa, this is a whole new kind of experience. And, it manages to do everything kind of all at once. And that's a really good thing. Now, I feel like, personally, the art and animation in Cyber Shadow is very much some of the best art and animation you could get for this particular retro style. And the cutscenes, pure 100% pixel art, amazing. I don't know if you have played the PC 98 games, especially those old school visual novels. Those games are absolutely gorgeous with their pixel art cutscenes. Like, absolutely gorgeous. And, I see a little bit of that here and there. But this definitely pays homage to the old school Nintendo cutscenes, the Super Nintendo cutscenes. But I think it really does a really good job with it. And, I'm going to move on from the art right now because I think if I stayed here, I will talk constantly about the art for the next 65 billion years. And nobody wants to hear that. Well, I mean, somebody might. But right now, I kind of want to move on to one of my other favorite aspects of this game, and that's its music and sound design. This game's music and sound design is wow. Oh my god, like the amount of hype that I get from playing this game. Like I follow the creator on Bandcamp, bro. I am in love with this soundtrack. Okay, you know what? I feel like I say that a lot. But I do really like this soundtrack. I feel like the soundtrack pairs really well both with the retro aesthetic. It uses a lot of like those chiptune stuff, but not only does it pair really well with the aesthetic, but I feel like, because it also making use of all those 1980s stereotypes and cliches and all of these things, it really does lean into that very synth-heavy, synth-based style of progression, and it does it really well in a way that kind of really captivates you as playing the game, and it really does make the game feel more demanding. It makes the game feel more open-ended, and it makes the game feel not open-ended. It makes the world feel a lot more alive, and a lot more like, you're pumped, you're ready to get on with it. I can't compare it to like legendary soundtracks like the Mega Man soundtrack, but I think that Cyber Shadow soundtrack is really, really one of the better soundtracks for this style of games. And honestly, if you could just go on Bandcamp and listen to it, because I think the whole album, the whole OST is there, you could go on Bandcamp and listen to it. Actually, if you Google the YouTube soundtrack, you'll get it as well. I highly encourage you to go and listen to the soundtrack. So we're going to talk about now we talk about the art, we talk about the music. I want to talk about the difficulty of this game. Now, this game is a kind of a run and gun, much indicating of, it is very much a run and gun like the old school Mega Man, but it draws a lot of its influence from Ninja Gaiden. So you do have a multitude of weapons. You have your sword, you have your kunai, no, not your kunai, your shuriken, you have, double jump, stuff like that. But you also have little companions that could provide a multitude of things, whether it is like a little R-Type 2 that shoots while you shoot, the shields, auto defense, boost damage constantly, healing items constantly. And then there's your super moves like your uppercuts, or your down strike, or, you could do a couple others as well. You really have to like pair these together to like get through the stages, because the stages are amazingly well designed. You need to understand how your moves work in order to be able to carry that momentum throughout the stage so that you could traverse the stage. You need to use double jumps. You need to use your dash mechanic, where the dash is you double tap left or right and you attack. And when you do that, you launch forward and you destroy an enemy. If you happen to destroy an enemy, you have the ability it resets and you're able to destroy another enemy. And you are able to traverse an entire horizontal section just like that. And that is an amazing feeling when you're able to do that. Like, I have done it only a handful of times, and I can tell you that it is so amazing to going from left to right and just killing everything without a break, just going dash, 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 dash. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. For me, the traversal and movement in this game is fantastic. It matches really well the aesthetic. It matches really well with the movement and the powers that you receive. It feels like a really good, well-designed game. The stages are designed around the main protagonist's movement, and as a result, the game stages feel like it feels intentful, intentional. However, this is one of the things that I will dock points for, is that the stages can become quite confusing. Even though it is linear, and there's only a few places you can go, and it is typically an A to B kind of stage, it does get very confusing the further into the game you go. Because when you complete a stage, you are given to this world map that you could use to revisit any other stage at any given point in time, but it does make the game slightly more confusing, and I did find myself sometimes backtracking when I wasn't supposed to, and then somehow getting lost, even though, again, it's a linear stage, but I think there wasn't enough contrast between sections of stages, and it does feel a bit overwhelming. Even though it's gorgeous and I absolutely love it, there are times when the stage does feel a bit overwhelming, and you kind of do lose your sense of direction momentarily. So that's something you definitely need to look out for if you happen to play this game. But this game is Unforgiving. I know a lot of people say it was quote-unquote easy, but nah, it definitely is quite challenging, especially when, you're just kind of going through motions and you're not fully utilizing your kit. That's when the game kind of gets a little difficult. In fact, I was stuck, I think, like 6 or 7 hours in on this one section, and I couldn't jump over. And I did everything I could, and I could have never figured out how to get over that. And then I eventually just put the game down. The last couple of weeks, ironically, while I was on vacation as well, I was playing the game and I realized, oh, I have to double jump, then dash in midair, and then jump again and hook myself on the wall, the very short little narrow wall onto the platform. And I did it in one take and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I continued playing it. So I've been playing the game since then. I have I've been having a lot of fun with it. As I said, the soundtrack for this game is stunning, amazing, gorgeous. Every adjective that you can think about, I absolutely love this soundtrack. And personally, if you can give the game a shot, Cyber Shadow is an amazing experience back to front. I have not completed the game. That's your disclaimer, but I do really enjoy it, and I do think that you will probably enjoy it if you like this kind of Metroidvania retro pixel. It's a fun game. Definitely try it out if you could get it on sale. I mean, I would recommend that you buy it full price, but if it is on a sale and you're a little tight for dollars, go ahead, and buy it there on sale. Wait for the sale. I don't think you should wait for the sale if you have the money, but I understand if you do have the money, you have to wait for the sale. But yeah, that was Cyber Shadow. It was a super fun game. Go and check it out. So that was Cyber Shadow, and I absolutely love Cyber Shadow. So you should probably check it out, like legit. Now, thank you all very much for watching. I've been doing this for a while. I had a little break for a bit there. I do other videos like this where I just talk about games that I have been enjoying in a specific usually that I played about 5 or 6 hours. I talk a lot about them. This is more of a first impressions, although I've played Cyber Shadow way more than a first impression video typically is. So there's the list. You can go and check it out and watch a lot of others. Previous ones would have probably been the... Actually, I completely forgot. I don't know what order these videos go up in. So thanks a lot for watching. If you'd like to fund this nonsense, patreon.com, Void0 Media. I'm trying to get a lot of new cool stuff there as well. And I'm also working on a very large Spider-Man 2. Not Spider-Man 2, but a very large Marvel Spider-Man review. That's 30-something minutes so far. It's still editing down. So thank you all very much for watching. And, tell me, do you like Cyber Shadow? Do you like retro games, retro platformers? What was the most difficult retro platformer you ever played? And you know what? Drop an emoji in the comments as well. Let me know what kind of... Actually, put a ninja emoji or something like that. Put Naruto if you could. I don't know. I don't know how emojis work anymore. So yeah, put those in the comment. Thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, do all the stuff that you like to do. Only if you want to do them. And thanks for watching. The Void called and you all have answered.